What is good, guys, and welcome to today's video. We're working on the Skyline. We've got the turbo sitting here all clocked and set up and ready to bolt on. The only thing is, as I said yesterday's video, I want to do a compression test on this first just to make sure we're still all healthy and good there. I've got my coffee here, which I literally just made. That is so good. Don't worry as well, I don't care about American politics. I bought that as a meme when I was last in the States. Although I do have to say, politics has never been so entertaining ever in my entire life than what it is right now. Anyways, all that aside, let's pull coil packs out, spark plugs. Actually, I got a gapping tool, so I want to gap my plugs as well. And do a compression test and hope that every single cylinder has good compression and we're all G. That would be great. Pro tip for you guys, you don't have to take out every single 8mm bolt for your coil packs. You can just undo the 12s in the middle that hold all the brackets. Also, I recommend just disconnecting your coil pack loom at the back. Don't unplug all of these plugs because they get old and fragile and break very easily. So just pull them all out like this, one piece. It'll save you a bunch of time. Yes, you gotta take your J-pipe off. Yes, you gotta take your cover off. Yes, you gotta move stuff around there. But ultimately, it's way better than when you go to plug these back in, the plug's snapping and breaking, and then you not being able to fix your car and get anywhere because you're waiting for a silly little plug. So, got all these out now. Okay. One other thing, because we're going to be doing a compression test, unplug your cam angle sensor so the ECU will not send fuel or spark to anything. So you're not filling your cylinders up with fuel or anything like that, because that will interfere. Alright, so here we go, cylinder number 6. Alright. Where are we at? There's my phone. Well, that looks good. Hell yeah. Very cold at like 150. That's healthy. It's very healthy for hot, because that means when this is heated up, it'll be around 170. That's good. Oh, geez, someone really wants to get a hold of me. Let's now do the 5th one. Time for number 5. There we go. I like to do like, I don't know, 6 or 7 cranks. Depends, but that one's dead on too. There you go. Pretty much the same. Hell yeah. That's really good. Move on to 4. Good news is, compression's fine and even across the board. Bad news is, I did a big oopsie rookie mistake. Forgot my oil line was here, and of course with all the cranking we built up some oil pressure, and now there's oil everywhere on the floor and in my exhaust pipe. Jeez, Sam, what are you doing, mate? Oh, that's a fair bit too. Oopsies. Well, we gotta clean that up now. That does not look good. So I gapped all the plugs to 0.7, which is a recommended for pretty much RBs that are turboed, running a fair bit of horsepower. Previously, they were at the factory at like 1.0, which is too much, and I didn't have any issues with them, but I knew that I probably would at some point, so I figured while I was doing the compression test, good time to re-gap the plugs. I just got one of these little re-gapping tools. They're really cheap, and they have inches on one side and millimeters on the other. But yeah, so 0.7 all the way through. I've got the turbo, the little down elbow and everything all bolted on, ready to go into the engine bay now. So I'm going to slide that in there in a second. I've just been kind of cleaning the massive oil spill up under the car. I'm going to have to definitely go to the store in a little bit and just put some kitty litter down on that just so it doesn't get too bad. Because we rent these places here and because this is a bitumen driveway, I need to try and get that oil cleaned up as quickly as possible, because when oil, the chemicals in it, seeps into bitumen or just any like kind of tar road surface, it actually like breaks down the tar and then it'll leave a pothole there eventually. So hopefully I can get that cleaned up. But let's get this turbo kind of bolted in and sitting in there. And then I think we're probably going to be done for the day on this. The trigger kit hasn't arrived. Checked the tracking and DHL saying that they're going to deliver it tomorrow now, which kind of sucks. because I was hoping to try and get all of this finished today, but there's no point rushing this. So let's get the turbo on there, and I've ordered some more gaskets and stuff too, because I want to replace the 3-bolt gasket off the downpipe. This thing here is not looking too happy, and I've already siliconed it once or twice. We'll put a new one of these on. That'll be here tomorrow too. Amazon Prime in Japan is seriously the best thing ever. Like, it's literally split and bleh. So yeah, all brand new gaskets everywhere. T3s, all the new gaskets for the turbos and stuff like that. I'm just rambling on now. I don't know what I'm saying. So let's get this turbo on. Yesterday we delivered a baby from this thing, and today we're jamming one back in there. I don't know if I should do this, but there's a few holes on here and I just want to try and play it like an instrument. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest experience. Alright, it wasn't as cool as I thought it was. Maybe I'll cut that out. I don't know. I'll probably leave it in. I like being raw with you guys. Raw. Alright. Come on. There we go. She's on there now. Where's my nuts at? There's one. Let's get that started. So there you guys go, we've got the turbo completely bolted on here now. Top oil line's done, both water lines are done, ready to go. I've just got to do the bottom oil drain, which we have to use an entirely new piece of tubing that was supplied in the kit as well. This stuff here, it's a lot longer than what you previously had to use, because the other turbo kit had this kind of like elbow that would bolt onto the turbo and bring it down to there, so there's a much shorter piece in there right now. So we'll remove that, put the full piece in, and then this thing's pretty much ready to be plumbed up tomorrow after we finish doing the trigger kit and redoing the timing and stuff like that. So all in all, we got everything done pretty quickly today. I'm pretty happy. Obviously good results as well with the compression test, so everything kind of went really smooth there. And honestly, with the turbo kit, I did have to get the angle grinder and shave a tiny bit off the actuator bracket here, which I sent Mumba a picture of as well, to let them know to just make sure that they clearance that more for future turbos they sell. Because I needed this bracket to slide a tiny bit more this way, so that there was a straight, it was keeping it straight, not kinking or bending the actuator arm. So otherwise that's pretty good, because with the turbo kit, right, if you don't run a heat shield it's fine, but I like to run the heat shield just to try and keep a bit more heat off everything. But yeah, you need this gap here obviously for the silicon coupler, which I also put a bit of like heat shielding around as well, just to protect it, because when that is on there, it's really close to that. But you obviously want a bit of space there. You need like a couple mil there, because air itself, just having a gap of pure air and nothing, is sometimes a better insulator than just like having that actually touching with like heat shielding there. So yeah, we're doing that, and yeah, I'm honestly pretty happy with how things have turned out so far. Everything's in the right place where I want it to be, and overall it looks like all the improvements have made a big difference with how easy it was to mount this whole thing up. So I'm pretty pumped about that. So chilling inside, and I've been working and editing on some videos, and I was reading all the comments from you guys on yesterday's video, and I'm a bit confused, because I don't know if either I did a terrible job at explaining it, people didn't watch the end of the video, or people just didn't listen to what I was saying in the video and weren't on the same level or page that I'm on, and why I did what I did, why I chose to go with the Mumba Turbo. So I just wanted to spend some time replying to some of those comments. Some people were saying like, why didn't you go to Oka-chan and get a HKS turbo kit? Sure, they would have hooked it up. Some people were saying, why'd you go with Mamba again? You should have gone with Kanagawa. Some people were saying, why are you crying about not getting a free turbo? That's a good one for me to reply to. Someone was saying that Garrett's going to be really upset because I didn't use their turbo and I'm promoting other brands like HKS when I was at Auto Salon and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of bring everyone on the same page and I guess respond to some of those. So first of all, let's talk about why I went with the Mamba turbo again. I need the Skyline to last only 1 more month. And I didn't want to have to pay for more fabrication or changing anything in the engine bay. I needed something that just literally bolted in that was identical to what was already there. So that's why I went with the Mamba solution, because I didn't want to go to HKS, you know, talk to them or, you know, put a different Garrett turbo on there, because guys, I already said I don't want fabrication, so we're not putting a top mount manifold with a V-band and changing all my fabrication, downpipe and all that stuff for a top mount with the G30 770 sitting on the floor down there, which is looking super sexy, by the way. That's happening with the new build. That's literally happening and starting in a month. So I just need the Skyline to be reliable for a month while I have guests here. So that's why we just changed it with an identical one. Now, let's also talk about now why I'm upset and salty about having to pay for a turbo from Mamba. So 6 months into that turbo, and the initial turbo, let's just talk about that. I acquired it as a sponsorship deal. Wasn't 100% free, but it was very, 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 very discounted, which was awesome. And part of the sponsorship deal was that I was also going to help them with R&D stuff, which I did. Now, here's the issue. 6 months in, turbo compressor side starts leaking oil. I send them pictures and everything showing them that it's leaking. They said, no problem, it's within the 12-month warranty period. We'll get you to send it back to us. We'll repair it, investigate it, and then ship it back. It could take 3 to 4 weeks. At that point, I just started full-time YouTube, and I couldn't afford to have the car completely just stuck in my driveway with no turbo on it, right? So I just said, look, it's only leaking a tiny bit. I'm planning to probably change turbos and get something way more responsive, because at that point I didn't know that there was issues with other things in my tune and stuff like that as to why it wasn't responsive. So yeah, that aside, I was already thinking I was just going to get a completely different turbo and we were going to do another sponsorship deal kind of thing, right? So at that point, I just said, look, it's not too bad. Don't worry about it for now. But if something gets worse or anything like that, you know, will you guys look after me? And they said, yep, no problem. We'll look after you. No problem. We know there's a problem now. You sent us videos and everything, so this is fine. So at that point, they said they were going to look after me. And that was at the time that I had just changed to the smaller rear housing as well to try and make the car more responsive, which obviously we know through previous videos that that wasn't the issue. But at that point, I had also discovered that the flapper for the internal wastegate had issues on the 7.1 when I removed that 0.71 rear housing and put the 0.58 on. And I sent them pictures, told them what they needed to do to change the design with the extra welds and a tighter sleeve and stuff. They promised me that they were going to send me a brand new 0.71 AR housing to replace the one that was broken, that I had identified the issues with, and help them R&D to get a better version and change the design and everything like that. They never sent it. They completely forgot to send it. So when I started getting a whole bunch of issues a month ago with the housing having more problems again, and the oil leaking even more from the oil seal, and I finally said to them, look guys, I need you to replace this. This is just too much now, and I need it to just last me a couple more months, you know, because till we start rebuilding the thing. They get back to me and say, no, we can't replace it, it's outside of the warranty period. And of course at that point I'm pretty upset, and I'm like, guys, you promised me, here's screenshots of our previous conversation. I'm talking to the same person, for crying out loud. And they literally just held their ground and said they won't replace it because, or, you know, repair it for free. They wanted me to pay to repair it and stuff because it was outside of the warranty period. And it just blew my mind. It literally blew my mind. So at that point I just bit the bullet and I said, all right, how much for a second one? Can you do me a discount? You know, oh, we can, you know, and I didn't want to do a sponsorship. I didn't want to do a sponsorship proposal or agreement or anything like that with them for obvious reasons. I didn't want to deal with them anymore because of how bad their customer service was. And they gave me a $200 discount on the turbo I got now. Bolted that on there. The thing's going to work, hopefully, and be fine for a month. We should be good, right? That's all sorted. That's why I'm salty about having to pay for a turbo, because in my mind, like, we spoke to them 6 months in, it was still in warranty. They knew there was a problem. They told me they were going to look after me. They didn't look after me. They said they were going to send me a new rear housing. They never sent me that. So it was just like all these broken promises, right? So that's why I'm salty, right? I hate that I was stuck in a situation where I had to buy the same turbo to put it on there, to not deal with fabrication and all this other stuff, and I had to end up giving money to this company, right? So that's why I'm salty there. Next thing is someone was saying that Garrett's going to be upset because I didn't use their turbos, and I'm promoting other companies like HKS at Auto Salon, talking about their turbos and stuff, and that I don't support the brands that support me. So to clarify, Garrett's not going to be upset about this at all, because this just further promotes their product. Because one, Garrett's customer service is amazing. They talk to you, they reply to you, they sort everything out, no matter the situation for you. They help to solve the issue. This just makes them look better as a brand. And when we go and bolt that on the car, when we rebuild it and start doing all of that in a month's time, I'm sure we're not going to have a single problem with it. And if we do, they'll look after us. And that's going to portray across the videos. And that's what I want. I always want to be open, real, honest, and just explain everything as it goes. So yeah, I don't think Garrett's ever going to be upset. And there's nothing wrong with me going to Auto Salon and saying, hey, HKS have released a new line of turbos and this is the information they've told me. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you what's out there, right? But the turbos I choose to use on my cars from now on, since obviously, you know, the end of last year, are Garrett turbos. And yeah, anyways, so that aside, don't worry about that. And I think that kind of covers everything. Someone else was saying about Kanagawa, but just a bit of information for you. The person who started Kanagawa, the two owners of that, one now runs Mamba and one still runs Kanagawa. Both of those turbos for those companies are made from the exact identical manufacturer, and they just get different logos stamped on them. So they're identical turbos. When it comes to Mamba and Kanagawa turbos, look, if your budget's not heaps, and you don't mind if your turbo breaks like after a couple years, go for one that needs an external wastegate. Internal wastegate problems are riddled all throughout Kanagawa and Mamba turbos. So if you're getting something with an internal wastegate, just get an external wastegate set up. Highly recommend that. Anyways, so that aside, just a bit of info there for all of you guys saying Kanagawa is better than Mamba. They're the same freaking company at the end of the day, really. That aside, I think that kind of covers everything. I hope that, you know, I'm not complaining, I'm not mad or anything. I just wanted to bring everyone up to the same level, give you all the context as to why I'm in the situation that I'm in. I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is, and I'm trying to make the best of it. On that note, I also want to encourage you guys, like, let's try to not be toxic in the comment section on my videos. Did I say comic? I meant comment. Let's try to not be toxic in the comment section. I really want, like, people's comments and stuff to always be, like, encouraging and uplifting. I don't want anything negative and stuff, because I know it's the internet. You don't have anyone holding you accountable and stuff, and it's so easy to just be super negative. But, like, if young people come and watch my videos and they read in the comments, I don't want people to feel like they're scared or they can't jump in the comment section because they don't want to get picked on, or they're scared by angry people commenting and stuff like that. So I just want to encourage you guys, try to be a little bit more encouraging in the comment section. And look, negative feedback is okay. Just try to word it a little bit nicer is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, anyways, that aside, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm just being transparent with you guys. I'm sorry for the long rant and the ending to this video, but I hope it clears up a lot of stuff and makes some sense. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Hopefully everything arrives from DHL and the weather holds up. It's apparently supposed to snow tomorrow. So, thanks guys. Peace out. Jamata.